In this video, we're going to talk about direct-to-consumer marketing strategies. These are powerful strategies and they're timeless, meaning once you learn them, you know them for life. Okay, they can keep generating lead sales and profits for you forever. All right, here's the problem out there. When you learn from the internet, you're gonna come across so many marketing strategies, and you're gonna end up thinking that you have to learn all of these different strategies. It's overwhelming. You start to feel like you're a marketing juggler instead of just someone with a business to run. And so in this video, we're going to talk about the most powerful marketing strategies for you to learn. All right. And then I'll give you details, and my suggestion to you is just pick one strategy that you like, that works for you, and that's it. You can keep reusing that forever. You only need to focus on one marketing strategy until you can master it. Maybe just stick with it. Actually, for example, when I was just starting out, I was just doing Google PPC advertising using the search engine. I didn't even use the display advertising network until much later. And that's it. At that time I was spending about 10 cents. This was about 2010, remember? 2009, I was already starting to tinker with stuff. So I would spend about 10 cents, maybe even less. And I was actually quite surprised that with that expense, I could sometimes generate $5 to sometimes as much as $125 commission from my expense of 10 cents. Sometimes 25 cents, still a lot of money for a tiny amount of investment. So focus on something you like, and you can do that over and over again. You don't have to get that creative. You really just want to get results, okay? And the way to do that is you focus on the simplest, the fastest, and the cheapest way to get leads, sales, and profits. And this is what we're talking about, direct-to-consumer marketing. So here's the formula for the direct-to-consumer marketing success. It's the 40-40-20 rule. So basically, it's 40% of your success is going to be about your target market, and the other 40% is the quality of your offer. And look at this. A lot of people are just spending so much time over analyzing marketing or advertising messages, but that's really just 20% of your of your success. Okay, so we'll cover this in the next videos for, I think it's step number 2, market research. You want to target people or potential customers that are the most interested or the most desperate for your product or service. Okay, and then even with just that, you can have a lame marketing message. I think in one of the videos I showed you, I had probably a lame one. I couldn't understand it because it was something in Portuguese. I used Google Translate to just figure out what the English translation was. So I don't have a feel of how good that was. Probably lame, but it wouldn't have mattered because the target market was desperate for that the service. It was about reincarnation, and I don't even know what the business, the client was really offering, but the prospects really liked it. Okay, so anyway, about the quality of the offer, it means what have you added to your product or service in terms of buying incentives so that it's more irresistible to the potential prospect. For example, if one of the roadblocks for buying your product or service is, for example, your prospect is worried about things not working, well, give them a really good guarantee. For my products, I will always offer get results or get your money back, because I remember when I used to buy marketing courses, things don't work out and you're pretty much just too bad for you, right? So I want to be mindful of the situation for my students. Another thing you can offer, Basically, for example, if you have a product that tends to break down, okay, you might want to offer a really good warranty. You're going to replace it. Or if your product is a little bit complicated to use, maybe throw in some tech support or extra customer service, just so your prospects know that you're going to be around to help them. Okay? Once you've got those two things, pretty much you can write a lame message and still be able to sell that. Okay? But anyway, I will also teach you how to do research so that you know what's working out there and you can write something similar. All right. So the other name for direct response marketing and direct-to-consumer marketing strategies are direct response marketing and direct marketing strategies. It's important for you to know that because, for example, sometimes I'll create an ad for Facebook specifically, and they'll disapprove my ad because they don't know what direct response marketing is. They don't know that some of them don't know that Facebook is actually a direct response marketing platform. So usually I'll resubmit my ad, adding Facebook as one of my examples. Then I get that approved. So this has nothing to do with multi-level. Okay, it's basically just instead of marketing to the masses, for example, when you see a TV ad, it's not really directed to anybody specific. They're just trying to just spray and pray, I guess. They got millions of dollars anyway, why not? But direct response marketing, you're really targeting specific people. You know, you're going to find out by testing. Maybe women are more responsive, maybe seniors, maybe moms are more responsive. So that's how you do that. So the direct response marketing strategy started in Europe in the 15th century. And they're still effective even now for getting lead sales and profits using the current digital marketing platforms in the 21st century. So here's another way of looking at a direct response marketing system. So an automated marketing system is direct to consumer, and it's automated because once you turn it on, it just keeps working for you. Okay, your traffic source again is basically your target market, and that's going to be determined by your research, and then you validate that. By that I mean you get sales or leads when you start running marketing tests. Okay. And then the irresistible offer, again, is just your product or service, and you've added just buying incentives. Where are you going to get buying incentives? Ideas for buying incentives? You're going to go online, and this is where you can get some information or some ideas from your by doing competition research. For example, if it works for your competitor, maybe in another part of the country or other countries, it might work for you in your local area. Okay, and depending on what you want, you can generate sales directly, or you can generate leads, either email leads or phone leads. And it's up to you. Again, you can test it to make sure that you're getting maximum profit. You're going to compare your results from doing generating sales from your marketing system or generating leads. So here's what you're going to learn. When you learn effective direct-to-consumer marketing strategies, you'll have the power to generate lead sales and profits forever, no matter what gets invented in the future. Okay, so let's talk about that. We'll compare the traditional marketing strategies and then the digital versions of them. So you only need to learn the direct response marketing principles and the fundamentals once. I'm sure you probably didn't even have the time to do this course and this coaching, but once you learn it, you don't have to keep doing this over and over again. Of course, I suggest that you keep improving your knowledge and skills. You know, that can bring you an extra $1 million for your campaigns once you learn more and more. Okay, but for now, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult for you if you're just starting out. You just need to apply what you've learned when you set up your first automated marketing system with my help, my coaching and consulting. All right. And anyway, once you have the knowledge and skills to get results, you have that for life. What I'm trying to get you to do is basically learn to commit to working as little as possible. So you need to apply the 80-20 rule for marketing. What this means is that most people are used to just wasting their time and basically expending 80% effort just to get 20% results. And some people don't even get results, so they're happy with this. But with the strategies you're learning, the goal is for you to spend as little effort as possible, as little money as possible, as little of your resources as possible. So 20% of your resources, and you're expecting 80% results or even more. Okay? Let's see. So here's what can happen. I mean, I'm not suggesting you're going to get something that's amazing, but the most powerful direct response marketing campaign ran for 28 years, 1975 to 2003. You might have seen them. It's basically a sales letter written by Martin Conroy, A Tale of Two Young Men, and this was done for a Wall Street Journal. This generated nearly $2 billion worth of subscriptions for the Wall Street Journal. So if you're lucky, your marketing campaign, your advertising campaign may run for a few months or a few years, and then you maybe have to tweak it. That's still pretty good. And you're probably not gonna get 2 billion. This is really the best results I've seen, but maybe, five figures. I know I could do that when I was a newbie. 5 figures, 6 figures, maybe $1 million or more, but it adds up, right? Even 4 to 6 to 5 figures can really do a lot for your business. That's maybe an extra equipment or something that allows you to grow your business. Okay, but this is right. I mean, this makes direct response marketing so amazing because it's accessible to pretty much everyone for so little money, especially now that we have these digital marketing platforms. All right, here's a brief background. I mean, I was really amazed when I read this. I didn't know this until a few months ago. So this is from Wikipedia. So direct response marketing strategies were practiced in 15th century Europe using catalogs. In America, Ben Franklin produced catalogs of scientific and academic books in 1744. Right? Let me stop this. The thing about creating videos is that you get so thirsty. But here's the interesting thing. Strategies pioneered in the 18th and 19th century were developed further by the 20th century direct response marketing greats. So, for example, you can probably find free PDFs for scientific advertising by Claude Hopkins. David Ogilvy, I have a couple of his books, but they're really hard to find. And mine are so old, they're starting to fall apart. Eugene Schwartz, it's hard to find his books. If you're lucky, you might find one for $600 or more. John Caples, I don't know how hard or easy it is to find his books. For some reason, I was tinkering with advertising when I was an undergrad. I was a chemistry major, but I was kind of doing that to make extra income. I don't have a book by Gary Halpert, but he's also another legendary direct response marketing. Great, but if you go to Amazon, there's I used to teach his son. And I do have his book from his father's teaching. He's also great. I don't have any books by J. Abraham, but he's also great. All right, here's what's amazing. Okay. 2 direct response marketing greats who started in the 20th century are still around. Dan Kennedy, I have so many of his books. He's still writing. He's still teaching. Bob Bly is another one with multiple books and still teaching. They've adapted their ideas for the digital platforms. Kind of nice. All right, so let's see what else. Just so you know, digital marketing platforms or digital marketing strategies are email marketing, mobile marketing, PPC, of course, display advertising, like media buying. And the platforms include Google, Bing, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Yahoo, WhatsApp, and TikTok. Anything out there, you can advertise there. Okay. So here's what's really important. You need to get this. if you're not advertising online, like most of your competitors are not really advertising, you really are invisible to your prospects, okay? Because they're looking for your products or services online. They're searching. If they can't find them, well, guess what? They can't buy them. They can't sign up for your email. They can't sign up for anything you're trying to offer, okay? So, don't be intimidated by having a lot of competitors, because a lot of them are not really advertising at all. Some of them don't even have websites, so they're not relevant to your customers, and some of them are even invisible, right? By using direct response marketing strategies on digital marketing platforms, you're now combining two strategies. You can get faster and cheaper results. So people prefer modern day forms of digital communication over traditional equivalents. So let's go over them. All right, let's go over them, because it just connects you to something you already know. For example, the Yellow Pages. Remember how big they were before? Like massive books, right? Those things are very expensive. I don't know that if you know this, but they cost about, I don't know, close to 100,000 or more per page. So some businesses, will advertise a tiny little 2-line thing. That's still good enough to get some customers, all right? Because in the olden days, when you need to search something, you go to the Yellow Pages. It's the businesses are arranged A to Z. But now you have Google search as the new Yellow Pages. You just go in Google and you can find whatever it is that you want. Okay, and they're preferred by users, and you should also prefer them, because instead of spending, I don't know, tens and thousands of dollars, or maybe if you're big enough, like a lot of these legal firms, law firms, they're spending about $100,000. Of course, it's more if you're the front page or back page, okay? But with Google search advertising, you can spend, I don't know, $5 to $10, and then maybe, depending what it is you're selling, you could have maybe $1 or less per click. Okay. And of course, if you're one of the law firms, and that can be a lot, they've gotten more and more expensive, $10, $20. And if you're a mesothelioma lawyer, that could be as much as $1,000 per click. That's why you have to get really, well, creative. But I mean, just do your research. You really don't have to be creative. You have to be able to read, which I know you can do that. All right. So YouTube video advertising is preferred over television advertising. Again, television advertising, tens and thousands of dollars if you're paying cable, or maybe hundreds of dollars, depending on if you're going to do tiny. Sorry about that. I turned off on my phone, but you can still hear it. All right. So television advertising, you can do this for like a few $100s, as I was saying, if you use cable in a tiny area, but usually be prepared to spend tens and thousands of dollars or millions, okay? YouTube video advertising, on the other hand, you can spend as little as a few cents, actually. So it's one of the biggest deals right now, and you can use YouTube display advertising or search advertising. So that's another one. We'll cover that later on, but that, like, really great deal. And you don't have to have a video either, just so you know, okay? You can have a simple video, but if you do your text ad, meaning just words, a sentence or two, it can be shown on YouTube. Okay, let's move on. Email marketing is preferred over direct mail marketing. If you're going to be running a marketing test for direct mail, be prepared to spend thousands of dollars. For email marketing, usually people use their own list, but if you do what I do, which is I buy solo email advertising, usually I'll spend about $99 for 1 million drops, meaning my advertising is sent to a million people, and sometimes I'll even get that at a discount. Yeah, I tend to buy things at a discount and hoard my my advertising, so I can, for example, spend $99 for 2 million solo advertising or email marketing drops. Okay, and if you have a good list, if you have responsive subscribers, you can get as much as $38 for every $1 you spend for email marketing. Okay, really powerful stuff. Okay. Podcast advertising is preferred over radio advertising. Again, it's because it's less costly. Let's see. I didn't mention this, but advertising on blogs and other, let me go back. Blogs or big sites, for example, CNN Time, you can have what's called native advertising. That's also much cheaper than actually advertising on actual Time magazine. All right. But whatever it is, for the traditional version of direct response marketing is much cheaper online. Oh, I know what I was trying to remember. Billboard advertising, very expensive stuff. Again, it's hard to track that, but if you were to do display advertising, it's also called media buying. Used to be super expensive. You have to spend at least $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 before you can get, you can buy advertising. Now it's super cheap. Google, of course, is the cheapest one. It's, for example, if you're going to spend $1 to $3 on Google search, that might be like maybe 15 cents to 25, 50 cents for Google display. Google display advertising is just those little ads you see when you visit blogs or websites. Okay. Native advertising is another version of that, where you have these ads in these different, sites. I mentioned Time Magazine, online, Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur, stuff like that. Okay. So what's going to happen when the platforms change? It doesn't matter. Direct response marketing, they're based on the same consumer psychology. People behave the same way, no matter what time frame. So they will continue to work for you no matter what gets invented in the future. So here's a famous quote by John Wanamaker, 19th century direct response marketer. He was the father. He's considered to be the father of modern advertising. I know half my advertising is wasted. I just don't know which half. But you don't have that problem anymore. You can track everything from a zip code to gender, age, time of the hour, the exact hour of when your sales are happening. So you can keep turning on your advertising the same hours or days. Okay, really exact these days. So a huge advantage of direct response marketing is that results are tracked and measured. So like I said, you spend 0 cents before you do your research. Then you do your research and you run your marketing test for 5 to 10 days, and then spend maybe $5 to $10, more or less, depending on what your category is, what your niche market is, and then you turn off everything that doesn't work, and you only continue running profitable campaigns. For example, I used to do this before, but now I'm a little bit impatient, so I'll run my marketing test for 3 days, for example. I just spend more money. And since I kind of know my skills, if I'm not getting any results within hours, within a day or two, I pretty much will test something else, because that's weird. Okay, so you're going to get to know yourself and your skills, and you're going to know that, it's time to give up on your stuff after a couple of days or so. All right, so if something's not working, it's losing money for you or not making enough money for you compared to the others, you stop those campaigns immediately. And you only continue running campaigns that are generating sales and profits. If it's a money maker and it's a high enough money maker compared to the others, you continue that. And we're going to talk about this in another video, for example, running marketing tests. Okay. All right. So A huge disadvantage of traditional methods of branding or mass marketing on TV, for example, is you can't measure results directly, you can't figure out what's working or not, and you can't turn off campaigns that are wasting your money. So usually the big brands with millions of dollars of marketing budget, they're doing that. If something's not working, who cares? They'll keep running it anyway. Okay, but not you. It's really smart to just watch your dollars and cents there. Okay. All right, we talked about this before, and really the research will be about targeting the target market that are most interested and most desperate for your products or services. That's 40% of your success for your campaign. And then you make your offer, your product or service, you're going to add buying incentives. You're going to make it more and more irresistible for people that are already very interested or desperate for it. Okay, so once you've got that, you can write a lame advertising campaign or message. Don't worry about it, and you can probably still get some results. All right. By using direct response marketing strategies, you can overcome the biggest roadblocks for getting more leads, sales, and profits. This is actually pretty remarkable. It doesn't matter if you don't have a well-known brand. For example, Pinterest, if you're running a search ad there, it's one of the top search engines. You have Google as a search engine. You have Bing, of course, and Yahoo. But YouTube is the #2 search engine. I don't know if you know that. And Pinterest is also a search engine. Okay, but they also have display advertising there. But for Pinterest, for example, a lot of the customers will buy from you even if they don't know your brand. As a matter of fact, it's kind of preferred. All right, they don't just buy from the well-known brands because they're more expensive usually. So it doesn't matter if you just started today with 0 customers. You can start advertising and start bringing in traffic and leads and sales for your business and profits. It doesn't matter if you just click published on your new site or blog. You have 0 traffic, or maybe 1 to 2, you and your mom, but you're not buyers. Okay, you can still generate lead, sales, and profits. All right. When you have an automated marketing system optimized and working for your business, you can keep generating leads, sales, and profits for months or even years. Remember what I showed you earlier with the Wall Street Journal? That was for over 2 decades. But, in your case, if you're just starting out, you may just have something running for maybe a few weeks, months. If you're lucky, it might be years. Okay. And then if you need to kind of update it, maybe you have to tweak it by just a little bit, still good. So one direct response marketing campaign can be a game changer for your business. Even if you just have a single automated marketing system bringing you sales and profits every day, your business and your life can change dramatically. Okay, really big deal. This is why I keep saying automated marketing systems can empower ordinary entrepreneurs to build extraordinary businesses. Okay?